Hi, this is author-philosopher Ronald E. Springer of EthicsUnderground.com here to continue the reading of Moral Armor. Chapter 8, Part 8, Evasion of Self-Responsibility. Please hit like and subscribe before we dive in. Fear-driven man is not the creator of concepts or the identifier of attributes, so he starts by denying what has been identified by others. Having spent his entire life, from early development into adulthood, avoiding the whole concept of self, his first fundamental evasion is the realm of self-responsibility. Reflecting on his own actions, he considers the attributes of self to originate outside of self, alluding to every other conception as the source. With personal misgivings he wishes the external world would account for, the responsible parties are handpicked according to expediency: God, destiny, other people, society, luck, genetics, inalterable circumstances of the past, all take their turn in the place of his guilt. He feels hate without any object of hate. He feels the emotion, then assigns a victim. Always wrapped up in some vain attempt to evade the shame of his own default, his mental effort is spent to hide the possibility of having any choice in the matter. We see it in the action that precedes an emotional tantrum. The stubbornly evasive desire to believe that something stands in his way, as an excuse not to try. He actually wishes that barriers did exist to remove the mature obligation to act. The self-made cannot fully conceive of or appreciate the power of his terror, and we're often left stunned when he plows through us to run the other way. It is no laughing matter. Self-reliance is his greatest fear. He will kill or die to avoid the responsibility of independence. As our elation is incommunicable to him, his panic is incommunicable to us. Panic replaces his freedom to choose. To him there is no alternative, and as a result in life, no benefits. He'll tell you that it's not his fault. Nature made him this way, and that he has no choice. He can only use what he is given, and it is unfair if someone else was given more. He'd have you believe that at the precise moment Einstein's cerebral cortex was being developed, his mother ate a power bar. Because his own mother apparently didn't, he gets to ignore free will, personal effort, and rational discipline, and claim that the surplus of a productive man rightly belongs to him as well. He cannot permit himself to accept that ability is a volitional development. He believes that if he can convince others and himself that motivations and results can be nothing but indeterminate and that competence is an inalterable, unchosen physical or God-given trait, then his inaction poses no moral default. But if it were not for choice, there would be no individual character. There would be no thought and no science. There would be no progress. There would be no fun, and there would be no love. Choice gives us all a unique identity and allows us to build the value system by which we live. Ultimately, choice shows you exactly what people are. In the pursuit of values, the process of cognition is not optional. The freedom to think or not doesn't dismiss one from its responsibility, or from the fact that to discard it is to cut oneself off from all the spiritual values of living. As our consciousness cannot be forced to provide values by anyone, that includes ourselves. It cannot work properly by any random means, but only by controlled discipline. Without accepting the proper means of cognition, there are no values, no esteem, and no passions. There is only pain and hopeless longing, brought about by evading one's first obligation, to accept reality and to live accordingly. That's all for now. Next up is Consciousness is Imagination and Sanction of the Irrational. I split these videos up by subject so you'd have a better chance of finding moral armor, and then perhaps go through the whole thing for free. Why? To help create a leader in every life. Sound civilization stair-steps up from sound coherence to sound individual to productive groups of mature individuals. Self-hatred drives fear-driven people in our world to wipe out the individual, so we all need moral armor to protect ourselves and the future of mankind. Click subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you'd like to help wipe out moral confusion fast and make the world a better place.